If your supplement routine has slowly turned into a cabinet full of half-used bottles, and despite the time and the money you've put into it, your health still isn't where you want it, I hate to tell you, but adding another pill isn't the answer. One of the most common patterns I see in my clinic is people chasing health benefits by adding more supplements, and they've never been shown how to step back, simplify, and adjust what they're already taking. So today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, how to build and refine a supplement routine. It's super powerful because what it creates is one that's effective, intentional, and evolves with your goals. I'm Dr. Melissa Blake. I'm a naturopathic doctor on the medical education team at Metagenics, and I have seriously lost count of the number of new patients that have come into my office with a shopping bag full of half-used supplements. And these are people that genuinely care about their health. They're trying to do the right things. But over time, their routine starts to feel cluttered and they're confused to the point where they don't even know what's working or why they even started these supplements in the first place. Before we go any further, I do want to reset how we think about supplements. Supplements are not meant to replace food or lifestyle. They're meant to support the gaps that are really hard to cover. Gaps in our nutrition that are caused by the nutrient drain that comes with chronic stress and poor sleep. I don't see anybody in clinic that doesn't fit into that category. The gaps caused by a lack of diversity in food choices, either because of preference or tolerance, changes in absorption, hormones, metabolism, especially as we age, or the reality that eating perfectly all the time is not realistic and may not even be possible considering today's food supply doesn't always provide the nutrient density that it once did. In addition to filling gaps, clinically, I also use supplements as temporary support while we're changing lifestyle. So for example, if someone has anxiety and they're sleeping so poorly that they're too exhausted to move their body, even though we know movement would help with mood, a short-term supplement to support sleep can be the bridge that helps restore energy and then makes building those habits possible again. So today we're going to walk through how I help patients build and refine supplement routines that work and are not overwhelming. Just a quick note before we dive in, this is general education, not personal medical advice. Supplements are powerful. They can interact with medications and health conditions, so please always individualize with a qualified healthcare provider. First principle is prioritize to personalize. One of the biggest misconceptions around supplements is this idea that you're supposed to take everything that could possibly help. And it's so easy to get wrapped up in this long list of excellent supplements with great promises, but no one needs all of them. The goal isn't to build the most impressive supplement collection. It's to take what's most supportive for you right now in the right dose and the right combinations. So in practice, I try not to start with what should we add. I try to start by asking a totally different question. What is the main thing standing between you and feeling your best right now? And then this answer really guides everything else. For example, if your main goal is to build strength and muscle mass, especially in midlife, getting enough dietary protein is a real challenge. So here, prioritizing protein and maybe something like creatine can be more beneficial than adding another micronutrient. If you struggle, like many of my patients do, with digestion, like bloating, reflux, gas, irregular bowel movements, these are signs that maybe absorption could be compromised. So in this case, enzymes or probiotics may do more for your overall results than just adding another vitamin. And when sleep is poor, everything else suffers. Energy, mood, motivation, digestion. So supporting sleep first, it'll unlock progress everywhere else. So when you name the bottleneck, supplement decisions get easier. You stop stacking just in case and you start choosing what is going to move the needle for you now. And that's how routines become effective, not because they're bigger, but because they're aligned with your goals. The second principle is to build a minimum effective routine. So once you know what matters most to you right now, the next step is to build a foundation that you can maintain. So before adding anything new, I ask patients to identify that minimum effective routine, which is the smallest group of supplements that delivers the most benefit with the least effort. For many people, that's just a few core supplements. might be a multivitamin, vitamin D, and like magnesium. It's a routine that you can maintain on busy days, during travel, on holidays, when life is messy. And in practice, it's those routines that work best because they're not complicated, they're repeatable. And fewer supplements when taken consistently, it almost always outperforms a perfect plan that never quite sticks. So for example, a vegetarian or vegan, getting B12 and adequate iron is really tricky, not impossible, but starting with those two supplements is really important. The third thing is to listen to your body. Your body is an incredible source of information, and a big mistake is following bottle directions but ignoring how supplements actually make you feel. So if you experience nausea, digestive discomfort, vitamin burps, it's not necessarily a sign that the supplement is wrong. It's feedback that we just need to adjust maybe timing or the dose or what you're pairing it with. Sleep disruption is another big clue. If something interferes with sleep, it's often just because it's having an energizing effect for you. It might have a calming effect for your friend or family member. So for you, you need to move it earlier in the day or take it at a lower dose. My patients see the best results when we treat these signs as information and not failure that leads to another half-empty bottle in your medicine cabinet. Your body is constantly giving feedback, and learning to listen to it is magic. It turns a generic routine into a refined, personalized plan. Principle number 4 is to rotate, don't accumulate. Once a supplement has earned its place in your routine, how and when you use it really matters. Your body, it doesn't operate the same way every day, and it certainly doesn't have the same needs season to season. Hormones, light exposure, activity levels, stress, immune demands, they all shift, and your supplement routine should shift with them. I live in Canada. Many of my patients naturally in the wintertime need more vitamin D. They do better on omega-3s and immune support. But in the summer, fewer pills, different adaptogens, a lighter routine works better. Daily timing also matters, and things that are energizing, you want to take during the morning, things that are calming, maybe later in the day. And I've covered that in detail in a separate AM, PM timing video. So for a deep dive, check that out. The point here is that strategic timing and seasonal rotation keeps supplements intentional rather than just running on autopilot. Your supplement routine, it should be flexible and it should adapt as your body adapts. Principle number 5 is plan to subtract. This is a weird one, so powerful. More supplements doesn't automatically mean better results. And one of the most effective clinical strategies I use is that we actually plan for subtraction. So every few months, I encourage patients to pause and ask, what was this originally prescribed for? Is that goal still relevant? Has the issue resolved or shifted or changed? Is this product actively helping, or am I just taking it because it's a habit? Things like iron, adrenal support, sleep aids, gut protocols, detox programs. These are goal-specific tools, not lifelong commitments. And simplifying often creates better results than stacking. So if you're building or refining your supplement routine, here's a summary. Here are the steps to take. First, prioritize based on your biggest need right now. That's what's going to have the biggest impact on your health. Second is build a minimum effective foundation. What are the main gaps that you really need to cover on an ongoing basis? 3, let your body's response guide adjustments. 4, rotate seasonally. Don't get stuck on autopilot. And 5, subtract with intention. Don't just stack endlessly. When supplements are chosen to address a clear goal and we revisit as that goal changes, our plans stop feeling overwhelming and they start feeling supportive. And that's when routines become sustainable. And that's when we get results. If this video helped you think differently about your supplement routine, a like or a share will help ensure that this information reaches others who are navigating the same questions. It also lets me know that the work and effort that goes into creating this type of content is worth it. And if you would like help refining your own routine, please drop a comment with what you're currently taking and maybe what your main goals are. When possible, I will read the comments and make a suggestion to help fine-tune. Thank you for spending this time with me. I'm Dr. Melissa Blake, reminding you that small, consistent choices, they really do add up. See you in the next video.